Hey guys, good evening. This is Luigi here from Asunción, Paraguay, and I'm taking up, Nav's challenge to actually get out here and tell my story. So here I am. This comes from yesterday's Nav sharing his own story. Very powerful, very inspiring. Thanks for sharing that, my man. I felt touched and moved and resonated with it a lot. So thanks for that, man. And thanks for pushing us and me in this case to get out of my comfort zone and be here sharing my story with you guys. All right. So in 2020, I lost all my businesses. As you can see, I'm not a young kid. I'm 45 years old. I ran businesses for over 15 years with a business partner I had. It was in the event space, entertainment, bars, restaurant, all brick and mortar, no online space for me there. And you know, before I make you sad, don't be, because I wasn't really loving it. I was ready to make a move, but it's one of those things. It's unless something really crazy happens, like a pandemic, you sometimes don't take action, right? It's hard, you have commitments. I had over 100 employees, uh, but yeah, I wasn't loving it. I turned into a guy that would, came every day just to put up fires, handle over 100 young kids that didn't show up to work sometimes, uh, or it was tight cash flow sometimes as well. It was a big revenue business. It was over $5 million in revenue, but very low margins. It's brick and mortar. It's we still look at EBITDAs there, so earnings before income, interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization, all that. Um, Very low margins. Something can go wrong, and you have big revenue that just goes passes in front of you. You don't see it. Uh, COVID came, um, lost it all. I mean, some people wanted to have them, staying afloat, but it was really hard. And I said, no, enough is enough. Uh, can't keep going with this. Of course, there was a lot of angry people, a lot of angry investors, a lot of angry lenders. I mean, you know how that goes. Some people don't want you to fail when it doesn't suit you. So it was better for them to keep us afloat. It's crazy. But I said, no. I mean, really, I can't go on like this. I want to, I have this itching to get into the online space, do something related, digital marketing, uh, funnels, whatever. I didn't even know it's so broad. So, and I ended up in sales, which I'm loving it, but I'm still learning, by the way. Um, but yeah, this was one of the most frightening times of my life. I had so many difficult conversations and meetings with lawyers, investors, bankers. There's a lot of threatening involved. People calling us names sometimes. Well, we didn't probably deserve, but yeah, I mean, it was all failure. And I mean, things were going bad before the pandemic, actually. But yeah, the pandemic was kind of you know, the last, the drop that tipped the water. I think that's the expression in English. Yeah. So this really took a toll on me. I couldn't sleep. I was started getting panic attacks, which for those of you who don't know what a panic attack is, uh, it's really uh, your body goes into a defense mode. It, your body perceives that you're in a life or death situation, and it triggers all the mechanisms, adrenaline, like someone's literally coming to your house with a shotgun and kill you and your family. I mean, that's how it feels really in your body. And I would wake up at 5 a.m. with those panic attacks because all the situation. And I had to go to the shrink. I did some therapy, take antidepressants, whole 9 yards. It was really really difficult. But yeah, I came out of this state. Fortunately, had a lot of contention from my family and close network of friends. So yeah, just to make to remind you, make sure to nurture those relationships, because when shit hits the fan, and it will at some point in your life, you just need that contention, hopefully from friends, family, wife, whoever you can resource to. You just need that. You can't do anything, or everything on your own in life. So just bear that in mind and make sure you nurture those relationships. um, March, April 2020, my first month ever in 20 years of working that I didn't receive an income. It was zero paycheck. Um, and for me, I mean, you have to understand, I have this very curious personality, very, freedom oriented. Wasn't used to 9 to 5 anymore. Of course, I was my own boss, running all these companies and people. And apparently that's in my personality as well. I crave freedom. That's why I'm big fan of water sports and wind sports. I'm like connected to nature and the ocean. I love that. It's probably because and I need that freedom to be able to be near those spots. I mean, I'm willing to work, but hopefully take an hour and go kiteboarding, which I love, and be back in the office. um, so 9 to 5 wasn't really a possibility. And I said, okay, fuck it. I'm going all in this online thing, right? Um, I start consuming, every piece of information I could find, free webinars, ebooks, you name it. Then I went to the free plus shipping, type of materials or books. Then the $47 courses, then the $100 challenges, then the 997 pre-recorded stuff that you find there. Then I said, fuck it, I need some more close mentoring, right? Um, yeah, and I paid $6,000, and it wasn't a great one, to be honest, now in hindsight, but it was, I mean, I was just craving that, something to guide me hand in hand and tell me the ropes. And to be honest, uh, it wasn't great, but it helped me, because it taught about prospecting and organic outreach and appointment setting. And then this guy was hiring after that program, and yeah, I didn't launch my program, but I was able to do that prospecting and the lead gen and the setting, and I recouped my investment in I think 3 months or 2 months. But sometimes you need to let sometimes you need to let the lion out of the cage to see how fast you run, that expression. That's what I did. I didn't even tell my wife that night when I made the investment, and I couldn't sleep again. And I woke up early in the morning and I told her, please, let's go for a walk. We need to talk. I made this investment. I meant to tell you, I made the commitment. It was a deposit or something. And, I can, of course, go back if you want, but I think this is going to change our lives in the long run. And of course, she's very supportive and says, you go for it. I know you're going to make it. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you need to be humble enough to say, I'm going to start from scratch. I was an appointment setter. I mean, trust me, I was this big shot in my country. It's a small country. People knew us, nice brands, very recognized. And I know you're a big fish in a small pond, right? Versus now I want to be that, small fish in a large ocean of, the internet, vast internet, digital marketing closing space. Um, but yeah, sometimes you have to be humble enough to do that, and also burn bridges, man. I mean, I didn't have the money. I was out of a paycheck, and I just put it on a credit card. That program, I remember. And after that, I started, you know through the setting, the appointment setting and the lead gen, I came across the high ticket closing industry, which for me, I mean, for us here in Latin America, is unheard of. I mean, sales for us is, the car salesman. That's it, or the insurance guys. And to run into a high ticket closing industry, I don't like the closing term, that much, but you know what I mean. For me, it was mind blowing. I say, I want this, and I thought it was going to be a natural, outgoing personality, and it doesn't work like that. I mean, you have to learn the ropes. There's a technique. You have to be, able to challenge prospects. I didn't know how to do that. I'm learning NEPQ now, and this is wow. It's like mind blowing to me how the psychology of it works. Um, I still don't know much of it. I need to practice. Repetition is key to master any skill, right? Um, but still, people were very generous enough to give me offers. You have to be very appreciative of what, when people give you offers. Don't be a prima donna and say, "Oh, this offer's not for me. I don't want to do appointment setting." Fuck it, man. Take it. Do the reps. That's the only way you're gonna get good at anything that's worth getting good at. Um, so yeah, I keep trusting the process for now, man. I'm still, in the early stages of this journey in sales, and I'm very grateful to run into all of you guys, in this community, Nav and Moose and Zach. I mean, Cody and all the other mentors, Jeremy Miner, Matt Ryder, all these guys, sales snipers. I'm taking their course now. I mean, this is quite the journey, and I'm starting. I know I have a long way to go, but I'm hoping I'm gonna make a recording like this in 1 year and telling you that I suck a little less at this craft, and I'm making something important, not in my own life, but in my prospects' life. What we do is life changing, and I truly believe that. We're not here for the sell, but we're actually here to take our prospects out of their comfort zones, because people don't act in their best interest, and we need to nudge them and push them to take that leap of faith, as we all did, as Nav did in his story, and yeah, as I did last year when I had no money and I had to put that investment in my credit card, and put my family's well-being on the line for that. But that's life, and that's the entrepreneurial in us, the entrepreneurial spirit in us. And yeah, let's keep trusting the process, guys. Thank you for listening to my rant, for my to my story. I hope it helps someone, and I hope it inspires someone.